She's doing the little shimmy. It means she's live. Friends. Hello. Hello, hello. She's dancing. She's all of the high vibes, even though I'm still actually sick, believe it or not. But I'm on the mend. Hey, friends. Hi. I decided to, hi, Hales. I've decided to come on live, literally in the last like 2 seconds. I'm like, I'm just going to go live. And I'm going to talk about the productivity of play. Yep, the productivity of play. Now, for those of you who read my long-winded captions, you'll know that my word for 2019 is play. My intention for every moment, anytime I feel out of alignment, anytime I feel not, my best self, to come back to play. It's my anchor. And it's only day 8 into 2019, and I've been coming back to play, and I've actually been really triggered with how to incorporate play in my days when for the last 3 days I've been pretty sick, especially Sunday. I woke up at 5 in the morning just feeling just pain and achy all over, and at first I thought it was my body's response to me going back to exercise after having so much time off. But I actually ended up with a virus that had me running to the toilet, and I had all the things happening with me physically. And so I was down and out on Sunday, yesterday, and today. But I tell you what has shifted things in me immensely. Play. Truly. And bear with me, because it can be easy to sit there and go, well, what does play have to do with productivity, and how can you shift your vibrations when you physically can't sit up straight? Which is definitely me on Sunday. For me, play relates to anything that raises your energetic vibration. So let me talk about energy for a little bit here. We are all energetic beings. We know this. We walk around and we're vibrating at a certain energetic frequency. I am, you are, the dogs are behind me, this bottle of essential oil, my glasses, everything has an energetic frequency. And when we are conscious of what frequency we are emitting, we start to attract and shift our experiences. So this is where the terms like low vibration or low vibe and high vibration and high vibe come into play, right? So when you spend time with a person who's pretty low vibe, that's why you can feel impacted by their vibe, by their vibration, So this is when we talk about, I don't like to use the word toxic people. That is so weird. I feel like my blind just opened on its own. Hello. But when we talk about people, we spend time with people who impact our vibe. It's our vibration, right? It's like magnets. Like attracts like. And I'm going on a little bit of a tangent here, but when people ask me, how do I call in my soul sisters, my soulmates, whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, you're calling in the people that you are vibrating at that same level. Anywho, when we become really conscious of the energetic vibration we are bringing into each and every day, things begin to shift. Now, that doesn't mean that you won't get sick. That's life, right? And that doesn't also mean that anytime you feel a low vibrational energy like sadness or anger or sickness, that doesn't mean you just quickly shift it into high vibration. Oh my gosh, Jay, why do you always have your tits out? Don't you have a husband? Wow. I'm just going to hang on a second. Hide live video from Jay. Bye, Jay. Okay, I just want to talk about that comment for a second, and then we'll go back into my story. My tits are not out. I have a singlet on. I also have, I shouldn't even be talking to Jay, but I'm just going to fucking express this right now. And this is actually what I'm talking about. Rather than me going, oh, funny, haha, Jay, fuck you, and let's just move through that, I am going to respond to the emotion that's coming up in me right now, which is frustration and anger, and it's triggered me a lot. You're getting a live trigger right here, guys. And it's annoying because Jay's not actually going to see this. What do I even want to say to that? there's so much I fucking want to say to that. And I'm just like, This is a problem with men, because that was a man that left that comment. And I love men, don't get me wrong, but this is the problem with societal conditioning and beliefs around the female physical form. That because I'm wearing a top that is showing my shape, which is big busted naturally, then I am asking for something. I'm getting emotional. Because I am a big busted woman, I shouldn't wear certain types of clothes. Oh my God, this has triggered me so much. But this is okay. This is part of it, right? I'm processing as it's come up. Sexualizing a female's body shape. It's so funny that this has come up. The sexualization of the female form is really fucking damaging to men and women. And even if I choose to have my tits out, what the fuck does that have to do with you, Jay? Even if I choose to have my tits out, what does that have to do with you? Yes, I'm married, and I am married to an incredible man and an amazing husband who sees more than just my physical, but also honors and respects the fact that it's my body and I can do whatever the fuck I want with it. And if it offends you, fuck off. But guess what? I guess it wasn't even offending him, because if he's following me, he's probably jacking off over my photos as well. All right. I'm going to come back on track. But this is the thing. A lot of people would have gotten that comment, looked at it, gone, remove, delete, block, and then not processed the emotion that came up in that moment. Because I have acknowledged and processed the emotion that has come up in that moment, I can more freely move through it. Majority of us wouldn't have gone there. Majority of us would have been like, keep it together, I'm not alive, don't let the tears come up, don't get angry, don't do this, like play a certain role, play a certain character, you know, like I'm just going to show you one part of myself as opposed to that whole full spectrum of human emotion. And that's when we can come into trouble. That's when we can suppress what we're truly feeling in each and every moment. And then it builds up and it builds up and it builds up. And then one day we have a fucking nervous breakdown, and it's because of all this suppressed feeling that each and every day, like that now is just like a blink in my day, because I've moved through it, right? And at that moment, it dropped my vibration, and now I'm coming back up. Do you see? We have the opportunity to practice coming back into alignment in every moment, but also, oh, George, I love you. I just had a man make comments about my body. But we all have the opportunity in every moment to come back to our truth. And when we suppress through fear of feeling our full spectrum of emotion, then that does more harm than actually puppies. This live is a joke. Than actually coming at everything from a place of love. Yeah? I would not have stood up for myself in that way 6 months ago. I would have just let it go. It's not worth it. It's not a battle worth fighting. I would not have said anything about it. Yeah? But fuck that. Fuck it. Fuck that. I'm not here to please anyone but myself. And if someone has something... Oh my God, I need to stop the dogs. If someone has something negative to say about me, especially when it comes to my physical form, which I have worked so fucking hard on actually owning from an empowered position, then yeah, I'm going to fucking stand up for myself, and no, I'm not going to dismiss it, and no, I'm not going to ignore it. No, I'm not going to ignore it. I'm not going to just look at him and be like, oh, that's his problem. I'm just not going to say anything to him because he's got to work through his shit. Fuck that. If you're going to say something about me and about my body, I'm going to say something. I'm going to say something, yeah? And I'm going to fucking block you from my socials. So thank you, Jay, for rocking up to my live and probably giving me the best fucking content that I could ever have planned for in my life. Thank you. I love you guys. I love you guys. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. What was I even talking about? Play being productive, the productivity of play. I feel like that topic's irrelevant now and I want to keep talking about body images, but it's okay. Yeah, okay. I feel like it's okay. Women, girls, men aren't the problem. There are incredible men in the world. Incredible men in the world. I have amazing men in my life. Amazing. Men aren't the problem. We've got to start standing up for ourselves more and standing up for our sisters more. And I loved the amount of you guys jumping in and kind of standing up for me when that comment came through. This is what we need more of. And for men to pipe up too. So if there were men on this live, to pipe up too and to call him out and to say, you're the problem, mate. Yeah? Because it's not a gendered issue, women's body image and the sexualization of the feminine form. It's a societal issue. It's nothing to do with men versus women. I fucking love men. And we've got to stop this. We've got to stop this, this outcast of men, that they're the bad guys. It's what can we do as a collective to stand up for one another and to write a new normal, to create a new normal, to write a new story. So if you ever, as a woman or a man, feel inappropriately sexualized, feel that someone has said something to you that's offended you, if you feel that you've been harassed in some way. For those of you just joining me, I had someone at the beginning of the live. This wasn't planned. The live was going to be about productivity and play, but it's turned into the sexualization of the female body because a man jumped into my live and said, why do you always have your tits out? Aren't you married? And so I deleted him, and now this is my response to that comment. It's not just that comment that's the problem, yeah? It's that entire belief around the female physical form. Because I am big busted, I must be a slut. Truly. I've dealt with these subconscious beliefs my entire fucking life. I have not felt comfortable to wear swimsuits on the beach because of fear of the sexualization of my body. What men would think and what women would think. I see the way people look at me when I wear clothes that are tight on my body. For years and years, I would wear tops that came up to here and baggy clothes because I knew that if I walked down the street, I would get unwanted attention about my physical form. But do you know what? That's not fair. Why is it fair to categorize somebody based on the physical shape that they have nothing, like no control over? No control. And it makes me so upset. Not just for me, because I have done the work on this. I'm an empath though. It makes me furious and it makes me upset for the thousands and thousands of women and men in the world suffering from disordered eating because of fucking comments like that. That's the problem. Imagine if I hadn't done the work on myself to totally embrace and love the body that I've been given. Like, people like that, and there are many of them out there, just aren't acknowledging the power of their words. And I want to pick apart his comment, why do you always have your tits out, is one part, and then don't you have a husband? So what he's alluding to is the fact that because I am big busted and I wear certain clothes, I am asking for attention from other men. Because otherwise, what has my body shape got to do with my husband? At fucking all. What does it actually have to do with Trent? You know? Why do you always have your tits out? Don't you have a husband? Are we living in the fucking 20s? This is where we need women to stand up for women, but more than that, we need men to jump into this conversation as well and call other men out on this sexist, damaging behavior. And I've had this conversation with my husband before and my brother-in-law where they've had a friend who watches my lives, so maybe he'll see this and think twice, make comments in Snapchat videos about the physical form of the women that he has as housemates. And I saw one just by chance, and I turned to them and I said, you guys have to call this shit out because you're perpetuating rape culture. Fuck, we're going there. And the worst possible thing we can do when we see this happen is shut our mouths and not fucking say anything. Yeah? That's the worst thing we can do. And it's one thing to come from a woman, but it's another thing entirely to come from a man. And this is where we need to have these open conversations with the men in our life to help them understand that it's a together we rise mentality, yeah? So if we sit back and let these men treat women and men potentially as sexual objects because of the way that their body is formed, then we are part of the problem. We are part of the problem. And I'm telling myself this as much as I'm saying it to all of you guys. We've got to fucking stop this turning a blind eye and this just letting people say what they want to say because, you know, I posted a topless photo today where you saw my back, so I was asking for it. I'm not asking for anything. I post for me. I wear clothes for me. Believe it or not, when I'm going down the street with my tits out, it's because I like what I'm fucking wearing. Yeah? It's because I've done work enough on my body to own the body that I've been given. Yeah? It's because I have no shame in the fact that I am big busted, or maybe for you it's like big bootied, or maybe, you know, whatever it is. The way my body is shaped has nothing to do with sex. Believe it or not. Yeah? And that's the fucking problem. But even deeper than that, if I want to dress sexy, if I want to be a sexual embodiment of sensuality in my physical, I should be able to, also without asking for it. That's the deeper stuff. And that's the stuff I've been working on for about 12 months now, 18 months now, and maybe you've noticed the shift in me. I want to feel sexy. I want to look sexy. I want to like dance and move my hips. I want to fucking talk about things like, you know, fucking my crystal dildo, you know? Like, and talking about sex and eroticism and sensuality. Like as women, there's so much taboo and stigma and shame around conversations about sex because we're so scared that if we open up this can of worms, what does that mean about us? Angel, it doesn't mean anything about you other than you're fucking human. And the frequency and the regularity that men are able to talk about their physical forms and their sexuality and their sexual conquests and the fucking double standards when it comes to women empowering themselves enough to stand up and go, yeah, I like sex. Yeah, I like feeling sexy. Yeah, I'm getting a yoni massage on Thursday. Doesn't mean I'm asking for anything other than the fact that I'm working on my own empowerment in myself and I'm doing this all for me. Guess what? Not even fucking doing it for my husband. Not even doing it for him. Yeah? Let alone people fucking walking down the street looking me up and down because I've got big boobs. Fuck that. Fuck it. So, I will continue to show up with my tits out to empower all of you watching this to do the same if you want to. Yeah? Embrace the body you've been given. Embrace the shape you've been given. And more than that, embrace your beautiful, sensual self. I'm talking to the men and the women. Yeah? Oh, And I know this is the work I've been calling to do. So I'm laughing at the universe going, right, okay, this is why I was called to go live today. And I actually thank Jay at the beginning of this live. If you've just joined me, there was a comment on this live that triggered this topic. I thank him now for providing me with the downloads to share with all of you today, because I'm seeing that it's going off in the comments and I actually won't even have the time to go through them all because it's continuing to come through. This is really good. But this is the work I've actually been called to do. Female embodiment, sensuality, sexuality. Yes, self-love at the deepest, deepest level. Whoa. Did not see that coming, did we, guys? No, we didn't. No, we didn't. All right. I feel like I'm going to leave it at that. Let me just see if there's anything else that wants to come through. Bless. Oh, this live. I know it's just going to go off. I'm good. Oh, Emily, I love your comment. Such a double standard. No one would say to Trent, put your pecs away, don't you have a wife? Yeah, imagine how many people, how many guys like turn off in their lives with their tops off, fucking power to them. How many girls would jump on there and be like, put a t-shirt on, aren't you married? What? I'm not even topless, I have a singlet on. Mate, new conversation needs to start, and women, we need to start, and we have to have the conversations with the men in our lives to have the conversations and create these ripple effects in the communities. And that's the other thing I want to say. Stop waiting for people who have influence to have the conversations. You guys have influence as much as fucking I do. You have influence over every single person in your life. You can start these conversations as much as I can. So rather than sitting on your hands and going, this person should say this and this person should stand up for this, and I get inboxes saying, why don't you talk about politics and why don't you fucking talk about this and this and this? Are you talking about it? Why is it all on me? Yeah? So this is where I hand the baton to you and say, if this live has resonated with you, share something. And it doesn't have to be on your socials, although it can be. It can be with somebody in your life who you feel will respond well to it. You can be sharing this live. Do something, yeah? If this has moved something in you. Because a new conversation actually has to fucking start. Because we are not getting anywhere in this old story. We've got a long way to go, but we can get there. But it takes us changing the dialogue. It takes us standing up for ourselves. And it takes us feeling fully and processing. Yeah? I might do a quick scan of the comments. Yeah. I asked a guy who states he's a good man why he isn't calling out on other men who are not coming from masculine authenticity. He said, we don't get promoted. This is the thing. It's such a double standard. I'll get unfollowed. I'll get unfollowed from this, but I'm not fucking interested in the follows. I'm actually not. I'm interested in whatever this higher purpose and calling is, and right now it's to stand up for us, yeah? And this is the thing. It's like, if you're a conscious man or a conscious female, why the fuck are you caring about being promoted? It shouldn't be about that at all. Makes my blood boil. Anything else? Oh, thank you guys so much for the love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We need more. Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Callie, about bodies are all about being fit and hot here. Trudette. Yeah, okay. I'm just loving all this love, but there's so much of it that I'm not going to be able to get through it. But there we go, guys. So please tag me in any of your posts, comments, whatever you share off the back of this live. I'll be saving it. And fuck. That's taken me by surprise. Okay, love you all. Thank you for the love. And, oh God, she's got her tits out. I must be asking for it. Bye, guys.